Hey there, my name's Drew Brashler, and in this video, I want to show you that scene safes are not what you think they are. Now, if you're brand new to my channel, I am all about helping you feel more confident with your production gear, no matter where you're starting from. So let's go ahead and dive in. Now, on the Behringer X32, if you go press View in the Scenes section of your console, you will either pull up on cues, scenes, or snippets. Now, on the scenes page, this is going to be the best spot for saving different scenes of your show. So if you have a setup for the morning and maybe you have another band come in the afternoon or a different service or whatever, you can save a scene for the first band and then pull up a scene for the second band or second service or whatever. Now, one thing I see a lot of people doing is they go and select these scene safes, thinking that these scene safes are going to prevent their scene from being overwritten in those areas. And that is not how scene safes work. Scene safes are just for when you are loading. Now, let me show you how this works. So I have a zeroed console here, which is right here. So I'll go ahead and press go, and it is a zeroed console. So if I go and press some faders, press go, confirm, it is zeroed. And then I also have my scene that I sell on my website. Nice little plug there. And if I press this, and it will load my scene. So we can see that I have a bunch of channel things. I have different parameters being adjusted for all my different channels. Now, if I go back to my scenes here, if I go and press scene safe on any of these, so let me go ahead and press scene safe on all of them. Okay. And now you can't press scene safe on your first 0, scene level. So I'm going to go ahead and press go, and it's going to load my zeroed console. Now, if I go and try and select this scene and all of these scene safes are turned on, now if I press go, do you think that it's going to do nothing, or do you think it's going to load up all of my scene? Well, let's see. Confirm. And we can see that for the most part, my DCAs were loaded, but look at my channels here. They are blank. There's nothing to these channels. There's no EQ, no compression, no anything, because we did not load up our routing, our output patch, our preamp levels, our configuration, our channels, our mix buses, our effects, or our talkback settings when we pressed load, because all of these scene safes were turned on. Now, I can still go and save over top of this scene even with these scene safes selected. So a lot of people will think that it's trying to protect their scene from being overwritten, but what they're actually doing is making it so that when they pull up that scene, it's not actually loading anything. It's loading some things, but not everything. And so what we want to do is we want to go and turn off all of our scene safes. And at this point, if I press go and confirm, it's going to load up everything that this scene was intended to load. Now, if you are trying to prevent something from being overwritten on your console, that's what scene safes are for. So if you're loading a guest engineer's scene, what you could do is you can go and say your output patch or your routing, and all of that would route currently from what the console is. So if I pressed my output patch and user and routing IO, then when I load this scene, it's not going to overwrite my routing or my output patch for my user routing. Now, if I'm wanting to prevent my console from something overwriting it when I'm loading a scene, then I want to be reaching for a different thing. So I'm not wanting to reach for scene safes. I'm wanting to actually go over to channel safes. So if we go over to channel safes, for instance, on this scene, I have my matrix feed here. So I have my main PA left and right on my matrix 1 and 2, subs are on 3, 4, and then 5 and 6 are here. Now, if I'm wanting to prevent a scene from overwriting the settings that I have on these matrices, then what I need to do is I need to go and select my matrix 1 through 6. And then if I have my left-right feeding that, then I'm also going to want to prevent anything from overriding my left-right and my mono. Now, another thing that we can do is we can go over to parameter safe, and at this level, we can go in and prevent things from being overwritten in just section by section. So for instance, on my channels, I can prevent things from changing my head amp configuration, or the names and icons, or the EQ, or the gate, compressor, inserts, groups, faders, mutes. Same thing with my bus sends. I can prevent things from overwriting what's happening with my bus sends. My mix buses, same thing. And then the console. So for instance, my routing, my output patch, my user in and out, and my user out. So now that I have these things saved in my parameter and my channel save, if I was to go back to my scenes and load up, say, there we go, my knob's a little sticky, this one, and if I press go, then it is going to load everything except overwriting my matrices and the things that I had saved. Now, the one exception for when you're loading something is your 00 scene will ignore your scene safes and parameter safes. So for instance, if I go to my scenes and I go load up the same scene that I haven't saved in 3, but on 00, if I press go, it's going to overwrite everything. So we'll notice that my matrix section is overwritten, even though I have parameter safes and channel safes for this section. So if you're trying to load some things, just be careful of where you put them in the scenes. And if you're trying to prevent your console from having a scene overwritten, then a USB drive and backing up that scene to a USB drive is going to be your best solution for that. Another option that you can do, and is my favorite, is you can go ahead and save that scene on layer 99 of your scenes, because no one in their right mind is going to go all the way down to 99 to overwrite a scene. So one thing you can do is you can press utility, you can copy your scenes, you can select, you can copy, and then we can go and scroll down to another place on the console that we want to have this copied to. So for instance, 60, and I can paste this copied scene. So at this point, now I have this scene saved both in 00 and it is saved in slot 60, meaning that if my original scene up at the top gets overwritten, I can always scroll down to 60 and load it up and have that scene be there as well. So, like I was saying, scene safes are not what you think. They do not prevent things from overwriting the scene itself. What it does is prevents the scene from loading. Now, I do have a blog post on this that I'm going to link down in the description below for reading more about scene safes, channel safes, and parameter safes. So that's over on my website, so you can go check that out. But I hope this video was helpful for you today. If you do happen to have any questions, or there's a video that you're hoping that I would make on the X32 or really any of the other production equipment that's out there, please post that in the comment section down below, as I'm always reading through those comments to find videos that are going to be helpful for you. And if you haven't checked out my website, go over to drewbrashler.com and check that out. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day.